Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to another live session with the Hype Magazine. I'm your editor-in-chief, Jerry Doby, and this morning, 7 a.m. this morning, these people booked me, got me out to bed looking raggedy and older than I normally look. Man, but I got two friends with me and a new friend that we're getting ready to meet. We got Ian Quintanilla, Santi, L. McRoberts. Santi is the lead singer of the group Split Tung. Ian is the percussionist and the mastermind, the quiet guy. L is the bassist. I got an opportunity to meet and work with both L and Ian during the 2024 track meet master class, where we did some mock interviews. L was my engineer, amazing person. Also helped me with the after action reviews and things for the mock interviews that we did. So collectively, they are Split Tung, which is a metal band, which I happen to like metal. And strangely enough, started my career as a bouncer in Hollywood at, okay, well, I don't know who Joan is. Do we know Joan?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Juwan, that's our guitarist.
Joanne, the guitarist. Well, look, people coming in late after look here now. We just can't have all that. We don't, no, we can't do that. All right. Well, John is going to be in the background because now we have, uh, but he can weigh in from uh, from the audio when he turns the audio. Hey, John, how are you? All right,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm amazing. I'm amazing. So, John just joined us. So we're going to start this from scratch. Sound good? All right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
Recount. 3, 2. Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to another live session with the Hype Magazine. I'm your editor-in-chief, Jerry Doby, and this morning, 7 a.m. Central Time, these folks got me out to bed to have a conversation. They are collectively known as Split Tung. It's a metal band, amazing group, amazing young people. Ian, percussionist, drummer, the mastermind, L, the bassist, and an amazing individual. Got a chance to meet with them during Track Meet 2024 at the Avant Media Institute. L was my engineer for the mock interview. She helped me out with actor action reviews and whatnot. And then we have Santi, who is the lead singer, Joanne, who is the guitarist, and I presume that's rhythm, right? I don't know the difference. Sometimes, I know you got lead guitar, you got rhythm guitar. Y'all confuse me. I don't make music, you know what I mean? Uh, Ian sat with us, and he was a shy guy. But this morning, we're gonna break him out of that. You get me up at 7 o'clock in the morning, you get your ass on this microphone and talk. All right. Same as I said during track meet. So together, Split Tongue, amazing young people. And I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for being here. What's up?
How
Thank
you
you for
doing?
having us.
Morning.
I am
Morning.
amazing, old, not completely shaven. Haven't had all of my coffee, thanks to whoever booked this, and I'm happy. Unfortunately, we're not going to have Joe on video, y'all. But
I'm sure he's fine with that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm cool with
sure
that.
for sure. It's probably
He's ecstatic.
hey, yo, you probably I know you're sneaking the wake and bake back there. Mute your phone if you cough. Feel me? Okay, sound good. All right, let's kick it off. I gotta talk to my friend L because we got pretty tight real quick. Good morning, welcome, thank you. How's things been going since track meet
Good morning.
2024?
Good morning. Man, it's been good. That was track meet was like a really big refresher I needed because I had to kind of step back. I had just been doing audio full time and doing my other stuff on the side. And then my priorities kind of switched around, had to put audio back on the side and do, take care of my business. So that was a really good event to put things back in focus, stuff like that. It was a great opportunity. Otherwise, it's been great, man. Down here in Texas, we've been getting a lot of rain, and I love that type of weather. So that's good for my. I got like opposite seasonal depression. Like I love the rain, so
Oh,
it's been good. So
you do well, like in Washington State.
oh, yeah, I'm from Idaho,
You're from
so
Idaho. Okay, so
yeah,
it rains 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I
that's
was
right.
I was stationed at Fort Lewis in Tacoma, and
Oh, okay,
that was my indoctrination to dark and dreary, you know,
yeah,
3 times a day. I'm like, wow, the suicide rate in that region is insane because
right, yeah.
I'm like, just because of the weather. So, Ian, we got an opportunity to speak with you, man, and I had fun with you. I really had fun bringing you out of your shell. And so now here we are early this morning. Now you're on the mic, you know the rules. You got to talk and talk up.
Yeah,
And so how have things been going for you since Track Meet 2024?
pretty well. I started a new job. Been focused on that for the past couple of months. I've been in Oregon, Portland, Oregon for 2 months. First time I've been out there. Pretty nice area. I like it a lot.
How do you get from Texas to Oregon, bro?
Oh, I had to drive up there. Yeah.
But
Uh,
I know how you get there. You either fly, drive, transportation. I wasn't talking about. Like, just how did you go from the dynamic of Texas to Oregon, bro? What's up?
so recently I became a windmill turbine technician, and it's a
Oh,
traveling job.
salute, salute, big bread, big bread.
Yeah.
That job ain't going nowhere anytime soon.
Hmm.
It's wild because Texas is the #1 state for renewable energy. So between solar and wind powered stuff, you couldn't find a gig in Texas, or it just paid better in Oregon, or you got with a company that says we're going to send you all over the country.
They send me all over the country. Yeah.
Okay, well, you get to expand your reach then, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. Santi, we're going to kick it off with you right here, right now. The vocals, the man with the plan on the microphone. From the inside looking out, we know about Ian and L. Give us a little rundown on Santi and you know how you see yourself as an artist.
Okay. It's very funny that you ask, as an artist, because I don't, if I can explain to you how I became the vocalist, it just kind of ended up happening where in my head, I just see it like I just ended up with the microphone. I don't I don't really have any musical background like the rest of these guys. Uh, in school, I always tried to play instruments, and it never kind of worked out. I've played multiple instruments and learned how to read sheet music at like a basic level through schooling, but like it never was it like I could never advance in those instruments. It never happened, and I guess writing through doing poetry and stuff like that is how it sort of pushed me to be a singer. But even then, I don't really see myself as a singer. I just kind of like to have fun with them, and just that's how I kind of ended up making music, if that makes sense.
All right, I understand. I can't sing.
Just kind of happened.
I understand, bro. I can't sing, can't, Mary Had a Little Lamb, none of that. Matter of fact, they have declared it a federal offense for me to try to sing anything, nursery rhymes. Don't sing to the kids, don't sing to your babies. It's kind of hard for a father of 6 and a grandfather of 15 not to sing some sort of something, but I don't want to go to jail for singing. So, Joanne, weigh in here, man. Talk to us. You know,
Yeah,
it's
how you
your turn. You
doing?
already knew, huh? Go ahead.
Knew it was coming. So yeah, I guess you could say I'm the rhythm guitarist, but I'm basically the lead guitarist of the band. We've been like looking for another guitarist for a while, and we're not sure if they're gonna fill the role of like lead or rhythm. But other than that, yeah, I've been playing guitar since like I'm 24 now. I've been playing since I was like 16. Which is kind of late for like most people that start playing guitar or any other instrument. Um, so I started playing like in high school. I took guitar class, like classical guitar. Um, then I started getting into like metal because of Santi. He's like my oldest friend from here. Um, so yeah, I got into metal. I just started I started liking it. So I just started playing like songs from like any famous metal bands. And yeah, here we are now in a metal band,
Okay. Okay.
killing it sometimes.
You guys, I've listened to some clips. I've watched some of your performance clips and whatnot. You guys are amazing. I'm like, it reminds me when Cold Chamber first came out, and I got a chance to meet with Dez and them. And I'm like, I never heard of Death Grind before, right? I'm going, what the heck is this? Oh, I'm in, bro. Like, come with it. And it just, shout out to Coconut Teaser on Sunset and Crescent Heights in Los Angeles, Hollywood to be. That was my beginning education with metal. Got a chance to experience and expand my horizon. So I love it. And I also have to shout out Fender because Fender sent me a Stratocaster to try and learn and gave me a they have Fender University to learn to play guitar, right? Yeah, didn't work out, but thank you so much for your support. I'm too old to let my fingers try to do all that walking. It just didn't work. Hand cramps. I don't understand how y'all do it for like, how
Yeah.
long do you guys normally play for a set? What is it, 30, 40 minutes?
Yeah,
like
around 30 minutes.
Yeah, fuck that. I my fingers are not having it. Not having it. Not having it. All right, got to get back to Ian because as the lead and the mastermind, I wanted you to break it down for us about Split Tongue, how you guys came together, and also if you could tap in on what drew you to metal.
Okay. Well, as far as how we all met, me, Joanne, and Santi have been friends for pretty much since like all time, since we were kids. Really, we all grew up in the same neighborhood pretty much. Went to elementary school together. Separated in middle school, but got back together in high school as well. And me and Santi had been in a couple of bands before then together with some other friends that we knew. And that's really how the music started. And then when Jawan started getting into metal and playing guitar, he would kind of show us some riffs here and there. And we'd be like, yeah, that's fucking badass. We should start something. But after our last band broke up, we all went our separate ways for a little bit musically. And then maybe like, what would y'all say, like 2021, 2022, me and Santi got together, started writing some stuff, just me and him. And then that's when Jawan decided to finally join us and become like the main sort of riff writer and everything for us. And funny enough, Avant asked me and them to perform for their 401 class, their live audio engineering course. And we didn't have a bass player at the time. And I asked them if maybe Elle could play for us. And they were like, yeah, that's cool. We'll talk to her. And so I hit her up after that. I was like, hey, Elle, we don't want you just looking up there stupid, not really knowing what's going on. So I sent her our songs that we had wrote. And I was like, just do the best you can. We're not really expecting too much from you. But once we showed up, she played those songs like she's been in the band since the beginning. And we were all like, hey, man, you want the job? You want to be our player? She was like, hell yeah.
In meeting Elle, immediately I took them seriously. Walked in the room, had a little conversation she educated me about, and I apologize for not using the right terms, but we discussed this earlier that I'm old, and
It's all right.
okay, no disrespect is intended. They gave me an education on the importance of sound engineering, and then we also talked about and at the time I think I had just found out that Elle was part of Split Tung, and I was talking about something about the bass player and then the drummer, how they are the heart of the band. The bass player and the drummer are getting along musically, as you can see it in churches, how they
Yeah.
they rev the crowd up, and also just in big bands and stuff like that. So Elle, were you nervous that first time?
Yeah. Joan saved my ass, dude. He sent me videos of him playing the songs on bass because he wrote the bass parts and like told me the keys they were in and everything. So that helped me a ton. But even like practicing, like I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. And so but I was like, I'm not like in the foreground of the song, you know. So as long as I'm at least playing the root notes, I'm gonna get by and I'm not gonna ruin their set. So Ian asked me if I wanted the job and I was like, hell yeah. So we joined and then I kind of went through the same thing after we played our first round of shows. I was like, man, I don't think I can like keep up with them. Joan's a really talented composer. And but I guess practice just paid off and I found my pockets in the song and stuff like that. They told me to. They were like, you don't have to, you can do your own spin on the bass lines. It's your job now. So I was like, oh yeah, that's true. So, but I mean, I found my flavor and we all mesh really, really good together now.
Okay. Yep, Santi, it's on you, man. Like, talk to me about being the voice. You said you just kind of fell into it, but since you fell into it, did you have like a classical training background in voice at any time, or were you just feeling it and went for it?
Yeah, so I like I said, I in singing, like no one, I don't think anyone showed me anything. Like, no, I have not had a teacher or anything like that. When I was learning to do like the harsh vocals, what people would just refer to as the screaming, that all kind of came from, I guess, me just trying things and looking at YouTube tutorials. You know, there's a lot of videos on people showing you how to properly do the technique. Because if you don't do it properly, you can really fry your voice. How can I explain it? You can like just kind of end up like not being able to even do it anymore. There's singers now in groups that have had to change the way that the entire band sounds around the person's voice because they fried their voice. So I definitely didn't want that happening to me, especially since I started learning how to even do that when I was around like 16, I think. So I definitely didn't want to do that being so young, like, ruining my voice for like forever. Um, Aside from that, singing is something that I had always wanted to do. In our previous band, it was like just strictly like heavy, no singing whatsoever. Because I personally didn't think that I had it in me, and then it wasn't until I started trying to do it, and I had a little push from some people telling me like, oh hey, I'm not gonna say I'm the best singer in the world, but I don't claim that at all. But I could like just sing decently, and once I got out of my shell, that's when I decided, okay, when we do our next project, with Ian, when we started writing this stuff, we were trying to incorporate a lot of softer things. Um, and that's kind of how this came to be, where we have a good blend of, heavy elements and softer elements and all the stuff that we're writing. Like it just kind of merges the two things.
Okay. Okay. You guys sit down and write, and anybody can answer this, but when you're writing a song, I mean, how do you come together on the storytelling? Is there really a story that you're telling? And how do you agonize over how are we going to get this across and be understood by our audience? And what are those considerations when you're putting it together?
I think for the most part, there's really no storytelling involved from the beginning. It's mostly just emotion because usually I just get sent guitar parts from Jawan.
Yeah.
And that's what I write drums to, obviously. That's kind of how the order we work in.
Okay.
And even then too, like I'll take his parts and chop them up, screw them up, make something new out of it. And then Santi will take that, and start writing lyrics to what he feels should go on there as well.
Okay. So, definitely a Texas boy. You had to throw that screw it up.
Yeah.
Word to there. Shout out DJ Screw. Matter of fact, just before Track Meet 2024 was the birthday celebration.
That's right.
For the iconic DJ Screw. So I was on the 27th of June. We convened on the 28th and 29th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was at the end of the month. So everything was huge music dynamic in Texas going on at the time. So I was so happy to be a part and be in town. So they get it all together. So are you the last one in the rotation to get it?
Yeah, I kind of just put my stuff in whenever I know it's not true, but I feel like in the composition process, unless I have kind of like a driving part, I feel like I have the almost like the least important part, or like I guess during writing, I would rather, give Santi time to get his parts in and like get the guitar, the drums and stuff. I feel like I can get away with doing my stuff last. So like
Sometimes I even write it for her. So
it's
Really?
easier,
Yeah.
it's easier for me too to like see it cohesively for me to write to it.
Okay.
Also because bass is a melodic and a rhythmic thing. So if I have the guitar and drums, that's great. But then if there's something Santi's doing that I can counter, then that's cool too. Slap in metal is so awesome. And so like I think of like Korn, like when Jonathan Davis is and Fieldy, so like I like to fit stuff like that in where I can. So officially my excuse is that like I like to see the whole picture cohesively before I put my 2 cents in.
That makes sense. One of the things that I enjoy as just a music fan is listening to the ad libs that come, and the fills that come from the bass player. I like the solos for the guitars too, but I have more fun listening to how the bass player and the drummer do the fills and add accents, but mostly the bass. I've always been jealous. First, I wanted to play. Obviously, I wanted to play, but just couldn't physically handle it. And then, so I just sit there and pick that kind of apart and go, damn, that was dope. That was like a fly ass accent. And
Yeah.
it really showcased in the way the drummer and the bass player frame the central parts of the guitar and the vocals. I look at it like a picture, and maybe that's not, the best way, but that's the only way I can handle it at my age. You see all this gray. So the most fun as a collective. Now, the three of you, Joanne, Ian, and Santi, are childhood friends and have grown up, and Elle came in later. But let's talk about the group dynamic. What's the most fun besides when you're screwing around in rehearsal or out on the fishing bank or whatever? But as far as making music as a collective, what's the most fun? And kick it off anywhere. Start with Ian. Let's go.
To me, the part that's the most fun is when we're like practicing or rehearsing, and all of a sudden we just start jamming out, and what we play just goes really, really hard. And we're like, oh, damn, we need to record that. That's one of the best feelings ever.
Yeah.
When you're playing together.
I agree with that.
When everything just clicks out of nowhere, like just completely off the dome.
So some of your best creations have come from like jam sessions?
Yeah, most definitely.
I like it. I like that organic, uncontrived music. Fan base. Let's talk about fan base. Like, I know metal is accepted everywhere. There's pockets, you know what I mean? But coming from Texas, now, are you all originally from that area? You guys grew up in Texas?
I think
I am.
Ian's the only one.
Yeah.
Only one from
I
Texas?
was born and raised here.
Okay, so you're an OG Texan. Gotcha. Everybody else is, and this is not, please God, don't let this be politically incorrect, but imports. Like I claim LA, but I wasn't born in LA. I'm an import to LA. My father was in the military, so I was born in fucking Kansas. You know what I mean? And then went to LA later. Like, so I was imported. I considered imported to Texas. So John, where you originally hail from?
I'm from Dominican Republic.
Go DR. Go DR.
Yeah.
Amazing culture, great food. Jesus, I love eating there. Uh, Santi, what about you?
So me, I was born in Mexico, and we came down here when I was 2. So like I'm 25 now. So it's like you said, I would probably say, import, because I don't know what's over there. I If I'm honest, I'd like to get to know, where I'm from, but like I don't know what's over there. I don't really care to know. I'm good here. Houston is kind of my home, is where this is all I know. I
Houston,
haven't really gone outside of these walls. I'm cool here. I
Houston is
like it.
spot. I'll tell you, the first time I landed in Houston, I didn't leave for 7 months. I promise you. I said, I don't. When are you coming back to LA? Please. Do you? I'm exploring the food. El, where you hail from?
I'm from Boise, Idaho.
Idaho.
Yeah.
Okay, so I could see the rock life in Idaho, but besides potatoes, talk to me about Idahoan culture.
It's a lot of outdoorsy stuff, because that's all you can do out there is like go outside. So it's a lot of like hiking, fishing and stuff like that. It's a really beautiful state. Um I lived in Boise, it's obviously the capital. It's the most, like, I guess it's the closest thing to a city there. So, and I was born and raised there. I have some family out in Houston, and I came to visit, and I was like, man, fuck this. So I moved over here, and
Indeed,
I haven't looked back.
I do not blame you. Houston is big, and as musicians, what I noticed um, is that you can go platinum like in Houston without ever leaving the city. Just
Yeah.
having an audience in Houston, the musical community is very tight knit, and I don't think it matters what genre you're playing. It's the fact that you're a Houston musical group, and the city just gets behind everybody. And it's Houston is its own state. Look, it took me 6 hours to go from North Gulf Bank down to Third Ward. I'm like, oh my God, this is a huge, huge city. So I feel like that musicians who make it and start to grab hold there can explode anywhere. How do you guys feel about the reception of the city to Split Tung and the music?
Anybody else want to go for it before I answer?
Somebody?
I mean, I can try to chime in here a little bit. As far as you could say the reception, how can I put it? We have a lot. When I say a lot of bands, we have a lot, like there are a few bands where it's like the same 4 or 5 people, just like just in different arrangements, where there's like 1 or 2 people, um, like just different. But there's like a shit ton of bands here. They're all different, you know. I don't want to say that we're completely unique in what we're doing, because there are a few bands that I feel like sort of tread into what we are trying to do, but I feel like we do it a little bit differently. And I think what makes us a little different is just that I guess everyone's background is different, like in what we want to do. So I feel like right now we haven't really been, how do I say it? Like you said, we don't really have a digital footprint yet, and I feel like it's because we've been trying to figure everything out. So it's like it
Yeah.
hasn't really like dawned on people that like, hey, we've got like a band with like a whole fresh new sound, like, or if you don't want to call it new or fresh or whatever, it's just like something that hasn't been done in a while, at least here. So I don't think it's really clicked with people yet, but the people that have heard us that were within the scene, um, you know, they like it. I know there's a guy here that makes a playlist for literally everything, like it's whether it's heavy, whether it's soft or whatever. This guy makes like a whole playlist, and he had asked us if we wanted to be the cover. Like I guess every time there's something like new going on, he puts you or puts whatever's going on the cover, and he adds you to the playlist. And whenever he did that, it's maybe like 1,000 people on there. It's not huge, but that's it's a good space to be seen. So you know, when that happened, I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. You know, like somebody within the scene is like, you know, they think we're cool. So I think the few people that have gravitated toward us, you know, they see the vision, but I feel like until we come out with more, you know, that's when people will start clicking in. That's just my opinion. I don't
And
know
even
what you
then
have to say
too,
on the matter.
our sound is not defined at all yet. We're still working on that as well. Like every song we write ends up sounding different from the last one.
That's kind of okay though, I feel, in the rock world. You know, you maybe have a signature voice, but with rock, you get an opportunity to play, I think, and present differently, position things differently. Unlike, you know, the discussion that's going on between hip hop, right? Well, here's boom bap, and here's rap. Here's hip hop, and here's rap. And there, you know, there's not a separation. They lump it all together, but there's a differentiation within rock. As I, like I said, and Elle, you could chime in here, but as I see it from the outside looking in, you really get more leeway to be creative and deliver the product differently, and you don't have to sound the same. If you run 12 songs on a project, they don't all have to sound exactly the same, right?
Yeah.
I like too about us, something I really value about us a lot is that in regardless of the genre, in production in general, there's such a like a stressor to niche down. Just because it's everybody has to do their own marketing now. And it's easier to market if you narrow down your target audience. But we really value just like how organic our sound is. I feel like that is part of the flavor, is that it's like loose and chill and whatever. And so what I like about us is that we're not like cutting off a type of sound we like to make just so our albums and stuff will sound more uniform, you know?
Okay. And Joanne, you're the one who kicks it off, sending, you know, the guitar parts over to Ian, and then the flow begins. What are your considerations when you begin to chart out the music?
Well, honestly, I don't have any considerations. It's very simple. Like I just sit down, hey, I'm gonna play guitar today. So, and
That's all he does.
That's
yeah,
all he does.
like I
Okay.
do.
Okay.
And okay, so I sit down. I'm not really thinking of, oh yeah, I'm gonna compose something today. I'm like, I just start playing and something like naturally comes up. Like I don't know, or like out of my subconscious.
Okay.
And yeah, just piece like riffs together. I'm like, okay, that sounds cool. And I record it on my phone so I don't forget, of course.
Okay.
And then later on record it and then, send it to Ian. Ian does his thing.
Okay. I Are there any external factors, John, that might set you off? Like a sound that you heard when you're out shopping, walking down the street, construction site, you know, like, oh, I want to recreate that, or is there has there ever been a time that something just hit you in the back, you know, in that lobe and said, oops, I gotta stop and get this concept moving, or at least this thought down.
Actually, yeah, there's many times where I'm like just sitting in bed thinking about like some riff I could use or like some melody I could come up with. And I'm like, oh, I need to go record that. But like I'm like hella lazy. I don't want to get up. So
Man, I love it.
I just I literally just pull out my phone, go to voice memos and like, you know, do the little melody, then record it later if I want to.
Okay.
Or wake up in the morning like, oh no, this is actually trash.
Slip on it and say that high thought wasn't so great after all, right? I got you. I got you. I got you. Okay. Projects that we have out now. What's out now? And what are you pushing now? Because I just noticed that you guys have done some live performances. Obviously, Ian is on the road, and so is not present, and you know, there's creating some gaps, of course. But what's out now that we should be looking for, and that's a highlight for you guys. Maybe that you feel is a great introduction to Split Tongue, for the first time listener.
Well, we have two songs out currently. One's called Memory and one's called Zombies. I would say Zombies is a pretty good introduction to our sound. It was one of our earliest songs that we ever written. It's one of our favorites. It really encapsulates that harsher side of what we do. While as the other song, Memory, is more of a softer tune. So you kind of get a good variety, or each half of what we do really in those two songs. And those were our first two singles that we ever put out. But we're working on more, obviously, all the time.
Okay. With you being on the road, Ian, I don't know, how long your runs are, but are you doing a lot of digital stuff? Do you still have energy at the end of the day, to put the time in into the music? Because climbing them things can't be fun. It's got to be tiring.
It is a little tiring, but you get used to it. I got used to it pretty quickly, actually.
Climbing up no damn windmills and shit. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, I got 3 flights of stairs. I get too tired to go up that 3rd flight of stairs. I was sleeping on the couch. You hear me? In front of my 65-inch. I'm like, cool. Kitchen's right there. Got snacks, drinks, comfortable couch, and entertainment. Why go up there? Yeah. So, but shout out to you in your youthful energy. You know what I mean? I got to go back to Santi, because you said earlier, something about what you want to present, how you guys want, what you want to do musically as compared to others. And I wanted to ask you and stop you, but the flow wasn't right. So talk to me and expand for me, if you can, please, what you meant. What is it that you want to do as Split Tongue? What do you think that eventually the music message is, or the presentation will be, with the caveat and understanding that you're still developing your sound?
Okay, that last part I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I was saying, understanding that you're still developing the actual sound.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But the mission, what's the mission? What do you want to do?
At least for me, I would like to, when I talk to them, how do I say it? When I talk to them, I guess for me, like the biggest goal is going back to like fan base, is to try to accumulate as many friends and I want to call them, at least when as a local band, these people are like people we know. They're friends of our friends that are putting us on with other people, like, hey, go check out my friend's band. I've sometimes will be scratching my head because my friends will be like, hey, I showed my coworkers your band. And then I'm just like, okay, well, talk to me about your coworkers. And they're like, oh, they don't listen to metal. And I'm just like, I don't know. I feel, I don't want to say embarrassed, but I just be like, well, I don't know. I don't think they're going to like it. But I mean, hey, go ahead and show, I appreciate that, because that makes me feel like the people that do like our stuff are willing to share it with other people. And I think that, shows that we're doing something right if people are willing to want to show other people. But I'd like to personally at first, accumulate as many fans or, friends,
Yeah.
That people that like our stuff. Because for me, I'd like to be, I'd like to be known here, not myself, but like collectively as the band. I'd like our band to be known, because I think them all on their own, they're super talented. Like Joanne, if you ask me about Joanne, it's like he just started playing. Like I've known him my whole life, and like when he picked up a guitar, I was just like, okay, cool,
Mhm.
We went to like Guitar Center to get this amp, like on the bus. We took the wrong bus. Like we were still kids. We were like still in high school. We took the wrong bus. We went got this shitty amp for like that he had $75 for, and like it almost feels like just yesterday. Like he sent me a recording and it was like super fucking amazing. I'm just like I don't know at what point like he just like this shit clicked and he's just amazing. Um, I feel like I kind of got a little off there with
No,
what I
you're
was saying,
good.
but like I just had to throw that in there. Um, but all of them, they're super awesome. They're super amazing at what they do, and I feel like collectively, like we just have a really badass sound that people will really gravitate towards. You know,
Mhm.
so that's first what I'd like to do, and then hopefully, you know, we can elevate past the local level and start trying to do, you know, other little cities, you know, around and you know just expand upon that. But first, I would say just conquer the local scene, you know, and get recognized and known.
I had to
Yeah,
go.
we've talked a lot about like putting on our own shows as well, like being our own
Mhm.
promoters. And if that ever takes off as well, we could do our own tours. We could record other bands, you know, me and Elle could do that. Start something like start a whole like collective of things that we can do besides just playing, you know, and making music.
You know, you have to own your own shit. I'm just saying, you know, in this day and age, owning your own tool, you know, there's a way back when I tried to play promoter, and we had this situation called bands supporting bands, you know, where you invite other bands out to your show to perform as a collective, and the only requirement was you stay for everybody else's show, so the crowd is the same at the beginning as it is at the end. I think our mistake was that we put 10 bands on the show instead of 4 bands on the show. You know what I mean? And it didn't work out as well. But owning your own is a really good business move. And then Elle said something about marketing and promotion earlier on. You know, in a city with the marketing thing that every person knows at least 10 people. And as Santi is talking about, this person is telling their friends, da 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 da. You know, being the big fish in the big pond, which is Houston, could serve you guys really well. And if you, you know, Kansas. Now, when I was a kid, said I was from Kansas. The group Kansas, people of the West Wind. I lived across the street from them. I used to babysit their freaking dog before people of the West Wind when and they would play football with me in the street. But they started with Kansas and now they're icons, you know, for Midwest music. Elle, get into that marketing part and how you know you see it. You're pretty sharp.
Well, actually, so at track meet, Chris Robinson, who's awesome, awesome instructor at Avant, awesome engineer, just like all around great guy. He was doing a marketing class and he was looking at our like Instagram accounts to kind of tell us like what we could change, what we're doing right, good stuff. And he had really positive things to say. It's tough because social media marketing, like it's amazing because it's free and it's accessible to everybody. But then like you really tiptoe on getting your Instagram feed to look like an ad, you know, and that's not something people want to look at.
Right.
But I think Santi mostly handles our Instagram and he's doing an amazing job. Chris said so too. He had very little critiques for us. Um, Santi's a graphic designer, so that helps us out a lot. Yeah, he makes some cool art.
Santi, I got you. Got some work for you, buddy.
For sure.
Okay. Joanne, stop being quiet up there.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about. Go ahead. No, just spit what you were going to spit. Freestyle it. Go for it.
Honestly, I had nothing to say. I was just gonna say I actually have to go to work soon, like at 8. So I gotta wrap
Okay.
it up there.
All right.
At
Well,
least
you know, let's close out. Where can we find Joanne? And, you know, we'll continue with Ian, Santi, and Elle so you can escape. You came late, and now we didn't have a seat for you. And now you got to leave us early. But I want to say, in compliment, I really enjoy the end results of what you kick off with this group, from what I have heard, as a fan of music and the nuances you guys create and you spark just it's good shit, bro. All right. So I just wanted to say that. And
Thank you.
I'm just having fun with you. Go do your thing, salute the working man. We don't want to get in the way. You have like 11 minutes to get wherever you got to go. And I got a clown though. Y'all actually took the bus in Houston to go get an amplifier.
Yeah.
I have tried to catch a bus. You don't know where to catch the bus. The bus don't come on time. And you don't know if it's actually going to come. And you sit out there in the blazing hot heat.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
For an hour to go get a $75 amp, but it was worth it. You guys are bringing something that's pleasant. Thank you at a young age for having that intestinal fortitude to withstand the public transportation system in Houston. Go get that and spark this off. Split Tung. Love it. You have a great day, John.
Thank you. Yep. You too.
See ya.
All right.
Yeah.
You know, what an amazing story, guys. You know, Santi, that right there, that piece of story, and then, you know, for my old ass having experience trying to catch a bus in Houston as a import to Houston, and finally just saying, screw this, I'm gonna go back to the house, and I'm wait till my friend gets here, and I'll borrow the car, you know. And then I just said, fuck it. Next time I come back, I just went to LA, got my car, drove back, and said, you know, screw this, so I can have my own way around. I learned a lesson. So that was just like an interesting humanization story for Split Tung. Like, this is the beginning of what we went through. So it's very important. People want to ask, they want to know where you came from, not just musically, but as people. And that huge statement, a huge statement for anybody familiar with Houston. Is there anything you guys would like to cover? Upcoming dates? Not Ian, I don't know. You never said how long you're gonna be on the road, but is there anything coming up? I know that you're working on a project, trying to pull it together. Anything you guys wanted to cover that I may have neglected?
We actually have a show on November 8th, right, guys?
Yeah.
I think at Black Magic Social Club. That's our next show that we have lined up so far.
Okay.
We haven't really promoted it yet because it's still pretty early on, but yeah, that's what's planned.
Okay. Any plans, Santi, to get into some vocal courses just to expand your understanding of the mechanics and physics part of it?
I mean, yeah, I've actually talked to them. Screaming is fine. I don't want to say like, you know, I've mastered it because I don't think, you know, you can fully ever master something. But maybe for like just actual singing, I would eventually like to get into some sort of coaching or classes or whatever, however you phrase that. Just so I can get comfortable more with my own self, you know, because I'm still discovering my voice, you know, how far it can go, what I can do with it, you know, different techniques, what sounds right or what doesn't sound right, you know, like obviously you'll try and hit a note and then it'll go like flat and you're like, okay, yeah, I can't do that. I'm not gonna ever try to do that again. But yeah, I would like to learn a little bit more just so I can be more comfortable, you know, with myself, with something I'm still discovering, pretty much.
I asked that question because Eyon mentioned the two different joints that you guys have out, Memories and Zombies, and them being two different dynamics.
Right.
So as you had mentioned earlier, you know, you have to use your voice differently at certain levels and whatnot. So I didn't know how you were going to advance your skill set beyond YouTube. Actually having someone teach you how to breathe and, you know, to compress or decompress your vocal cords and things like that for the sonic. So there's just a question.
Right.
Elle, talk to me, man. What's happening with you, bass player, engineer extraordinaire, fucking cool ass people right here, y'all.
We haven't picked a date yet, but we're on the like finishing stages of finishing up a EP. So we'll have more than just those two singles out here pretty soon. So we're just finishing up the masters and some editing and stuff like that, and then we'll have it out to everybody. So be on the lookout for that. Our Instagram is Split Tung TX, and we'll advertise it there. But Yeah.
Imported.
Imported.
I'm sorry. Tung is spelled with Tung for us at
Yeah.
least, because a lot of people they screw that up. So I liked, I just want to put that out there.
Oh yeah.
Split Tung.
Yeah, when I wrote it,
Yes.
I would have got them straight, trust me. But yeah. Eyon, talk to me. I gotta know, bro. What possessed you to want to climb windmills, bro?
Well, before that, I was an automotive mechanic for around 5 years. And towards the end of my career doing that, I was just so tired of it. I was just wanting to do anything, literally anything else that would pay me more. And I just saw that as a job listing randomly, and I saw that it was traveling. And I've never really had the opportunity to go around the country like that before. So I just thought it was interesting, man, and just wanted to try it. And I was someone who's afraid of heights as well. But I overcame all that, and it's pretty fun. I enjoy it a lot.
You'll be skydiving like Red Man pretty soon. Yeah. Parachute
We'll
off
see about that.
the 500-foot tower. And no, yeah, I can't say anything. I used to jump when I was in the Army. So, like I was scared. Like, you want me to do what? No. But I salute you for your bravery and the balance between work, the outside work and the entertainment industry can be difficult. And
Yeah, for sure.
to make it happen when you're on the road shows a lot of intestinal fortitude and commitment to the mission. You know, El, I saw you wanted to chime in there. Go ahead, you lean forward. What's up?
Oh, I'm outside, so I'm muting my mic between when I'm not talking, so there's not a lot of road noise.
Oh,
But I feel like I'm glad you brought that up though, because I mean, obviously we all got full-time jobs, and this whole stretch, I mean, I've been with them, I think a little over a year. I think I joined last June or July.
Something like
And
that.
so, yeah, so it's been, you know, through us, getting different jobs, like we would have a schedule that lined up and then it would fall apart. And then we'd have a common day off again and then it'd fall apart. And then so that's just something you got to navigate as an independent. But I feel like even even now we're kind of going through those patches where we don't have a common day off and stuff like that. Or like we will, but then Ian's out of town. So thank God for the digital age,
yeah.
because we all were able to like send our stems like individually and stuff like that. So
Okay. El, do you also do the mixing and mastering because you're the engineer?
yeah, I mostly record. Ian will hop in when I ask him to. I have him fix up any type of thing with the drums because it's tedious work, and he's an engineer too, so I know he's capable.
Oh, I
So
like tedious work.
Yeah.
yeah,
Detailed stuff like
You
that.
said you
yeah.
were a nerd when we were at Houston. You said, "Yeah, I'm a nerd, bro. I like the little details."
Yeah, he is. So I let him handle that. But then otherwise, yeah, I'll send them upwards of what I like about these guys is they're like perfectionists. So I mean, I don't remember which one it was, but it was like I sent them out and it was like mix 27. Like so we were like just pumping them out to be like, fix this. I'd be like, okay. And be like, okay, that's cool. Can you fix this too? And I'd be like, yeah, okay. And so that's how our process goes.
I love it when you
Mhm.
guys, hit the major stage. I want to be there. I'm gonna be like, I need these kids, you know, when Ian was too shy to look me in the eye during the first interview, the mock interview, and was so quiet, you know, and then how he explained how, well, I'm not that way on stage, you know what I mean? How, the personality shifts. And we also talked a little bit, in that time about mental health and how important it is for creatives and how difficult it can be sometimes for creatives. Mental health. How do you guys individually protect your mental health? You can start, Ian.
I just try to prioritize like things that make me happy, you know. Obviously we all have stuff that we have to do every day in our lives, but as long as you can keep like in the back of your mind that, oh, you know, I need to make time for stuff that I want to do instead of what I have to do, that helps a lot for me. Like especially with drums, like if I could, I could just stay home and play drums all day, you know, but that's just not reality for me. But as long as I get, you know, an hour or two every day, then I'm happy with that. It's enough for me.
Santi, you're up next.
I feel like my answer is gonna be sort of like just like cliche or whatever, because fuck, I can't even get into it. But I feel like it's gonna sound cliche because as a singer, I take if I have a bad day, bad experience, whatever goes on in my life, I like to try to take that, learn from it, and put that into my music. A lot of what I write for Split Tongue, when it's on the emotional side, comes from my own personal experiences, um, things that I also find are relatable to people. I'll put in as well if it fits within, um, said experience. I'll take that and be like, how can I make this relatable? And I'll take that, put it in there. And for me, when I scream, I feel like that is like one of my ultimate things that just like, if I'm pissed off, what do you want to do when you're pissed off? You just want to scream, right? You just scream immediately, like, fuck, you're mad. That's, I don't know, for me, when I get agitated, I just want to scream. So to be able to do that on a stage, or even at practice for an extended period of time, and have fun with my friends, like, it's like the ultimate de-stressor for me.
Talk to me, El.
I think what Ian brought up, like the time management aspect of it is huge because like you have to make that time to do the stuff you like. But for me, it's since I was a kid, like before I even had like the stresses of a job, like after school every day, I would have to come home and like before I would touch my homework, I would like just have to play guitar for like an hour. And that still holds true to me for like to this day. I have to like make some type of music so I won't lose my shit, you know? And I'm a multi-instrumentalist, so these last couple weeks it's been a lot of guitar. And then also like I love animals. I have a dog. I have to, I'll come home and take him on like an hour long walk, and that helps me decompress a lot. So yeah.
Multi-instrumentalist. How many
Mhm.
instruments do you play?
Mostly guitar, bass, and keys. I was playing trombone for a little while, played ukulele for a little while. I was drumming for a little while, but that's just one of those things, like if you don't use it, you lose it. So
Right, right.
like my ability to play drums is like gone. But I had to sell a lot of my stuff to make it out here, you know. So now I kept the essentials, so I still got a keyboard, I still got bass, and I still got guitars and a lot of synthesizers too.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, sacrifice,
Right.
believe in, and investing in yourself comes in different forms. But as a creative, you have to sacrifice uh, in order to move forward. You have to put in that 10,000 hours to get to perfection, become the master of the craft. And you have to have people around you, maybe not in a group, but people around you who can help keep you grounded and inspired and ignited. Um, it helps. And some way, a dog or whatever, to get off stress, go out and scream, climb a damn windmill and holler into the wind, you know, um, amazing things. Because creatives, we need you. And I'm just talking to everybody. We need you all, because other than that, us dullards over here, you know, will live uninspired, colorless lives. And so I just want to salute all the creatives who do what they do: actors, sound design, dancers, whatever, musicians. But right now, Split Tongue is forefront. And we're going to do something about your digital footprint. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. And we're going to make a little difference and give you something to work with and have some little fun with. So I really appreciate the opportunity to be in your lives. Elle, fucking follow me back on Instagram, please. Thank you.
Did I not?
No, you haven't. And it's fine.
Ah,
You were hurting my little feelings. I'm old. I don't have many feelings left now. So it's just Jerry Doby _. Just get it right. Get it right. I'm the old guy. Like, I'm liking stuff. You don't respond.
oh, Sal, I'm following you.
You're not?
You see that?
Oh,
It's great.
okay. Okay, you got me. That's me.
I got you.
You got me. I just want to make sure. I fell in love with Elle because she was so friendly and open, right away. Fuck it. I'm just accept me for who I am.
Can I talk about that?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I think in 2020, I was like kind of in the house too long and was like really grappling with my identity. And because being androgynous is like something I'd like that into childhood. I don't think I've ever worn a dress in my life. My parents were always like cool with that. So, I was just in the house too long. I was tweaking about it. And so I had tried out some they, them pronouns. And I think that's what Bea knows me as. And I don't have the heart to tell her that like I'm cool with whatever now.
Okay.
So I'm cool with any. I mean, it doesn't really bug me. She, he, they. Like, I know at the end of the day I'm Elle. So all this to say, like, I'm not tripping about it if you don't use that. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't like to offend anyone, and that's what she says now. When she says, "Okay, your engineer is going to be Elle," and the first thing she said was, "Pronouns are they, them," and I'm going, "Bro, I'm too old for this shit." And not to disrespect what anyone feels or how they identify.
Yeah.
I have a master's in English, a PhD in communications, a second PhD in marketing and research. And damn it, I'm stuck at 61. You know what I mean? And I'm retired military. So you know how hard it is for this leopard to change his spots, but I so dearly want to respect. And I really fell in love with you and your attitude and the way you were open and friendly and helped me, because I don't know shit about engineering and okay, get closer to the mic and this, that, and the third. So I got an education from you as well. And so I really appreciated you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, when you didn't follow me back on Instagram, I was hot, Jack. I wasn't gonna say nothing, but my ego was bruised. It was bruised. So
I always want to follow back like the next day, so I don't look like I'm like waiting for the notification.
Oh no, it's all good. I'm just playing. I really have zero ego, but in this business, you want to be able to communicate with people and you want them to be open to come back and talk to you more. And I hope you guys will all be willing to come back and let's do this again as the project comes. Let's have more fun. Let's expand, the conversation about Split Tung. And
sure.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you said my name.
Oh, I just said for sure.
Okay, cool. I gotta admit that when I said, "Oh, let's do this for real live," that you actually said yes when we were at Avant. I'm like, he might not want to do it, but you said, "Yeah, let's do it for real, for live." And Elle, I'm so glad to have you in my circle. To have you, great human being. Santi, great to meet you.
For sure.
I want to learn. I want to know more about your musical journey, your voice journey as you advance through. So when we get ready to come back with the EP, we could be prepared with some of those questions, and we'll just keep it going. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody. The Hype Magazine live sessions: Split Tung, Eyon, Santi, Elle, Joanne, who had to dash out on us because of commitment, and I understand that. It's been a pleasure to see you both again. It was an absolute honor to meet you, Santi. I look forward to supporting you.
Here.
Definitely got a friend here at the Hype Magazine, and reach out anytime you have something to say. El, you can just say hi. Ian, say hi. Santi, say hi. And we'll support. Let us know what's going on. Until next time, man. We're out.
Later.
All right. See you.